Hello students, today we are going to do the sagittal section of male and female pelvis. See, the simplest way to get an idea of the organs in the pelvis is to examine the sagittal section through the region. Now starting with the sagittal section of the male pelvis, first we will locate the bony landmarks from anterior to posterior. See, the anterior, this is pubic symphysis, posterior this is sacrum, and this is coccyx. Right? Now the position of the pelvic brim which separates the true pelvis from the false pelvis is indicated roughly by the external iliac vessels, right, which are seen here through the overlying peritoneum. Now between the pubic symphysis and this coccyx, here lies the pelvic outlet, and superficial tissues in this region belong to the perineum, right. Now, lying just in front of the sacrum, we see the rectum. See, this one is the rectum. Inferiorly, rectum continues into the anal canal, and this anal canal opens into the exterior through the anus. Now, the superficial part of the anal canal is surrounded by a prominent external anal sphincter. Right? So, this is about the rectum and anal canal, just in front of the sacrum and coccyx. Anterior to the rectum, this is the urinary bladder, right? This urinary bladder, this one, right? Now the ureter is seen entering into the pelvis. See here, this is the ureter, right? This one. Ureter is seen entering the pelvis by crossing the external iliac vessels. It then runs downwards with the curve and opens into the posterior aspect of the urinary bladder, right. Now the inferiorly bladder continues with the urethra, right. Then the part of the urethra lying just below the urinary bladder is surrounded by prostate gland. Now see, this is prostate gland. And this part of the urethra just immediately below the bladder, this is known as prostatic urethra. Emerging from the prostate, the urethra passes through some structures over here, this one, and these structures constitutes the urogenital diaphragm somewhere over here. Now urogenital diaphragm, it is made up of a muscle called the sphincter urethrae, which is lined above by pelvic fascia and below by the perineal membrane. And here this part of the urethra is known as membranous urethra. Now in continuation of the membranous urethra, after passing through the perineal membrane, urethra enters the penis, right, and it travels through it to the tip of the penis, and this part is known as penile urethra. So these are the three parts of the male urethra. This is prostatic urethra, then membranous urethra, and this complete is the penile urethra, right. Now see, this is the peritoneum covering, parietal peritoneum coming from here, then it covers rectum, it dips downward, forms a fold, then it goes and covers the bladder from the posterior aspect to the superior surface. This fold is known as, because it lies between the rectum and bladder, this is known as rectovesical fold, and this complete pouch is known as rectovesical pouch, right. And this is a peritoneum covering, right, covering the pelvic viscera in this manner. From the superior surface of the bladder, this peritoneal covering, it further goes upward and merges with the anterior abdominal wall, and here it thickens at few points and it forms the, like from the tip of the bladder, it is going, and here it forms the median umbilical ligament, and here will be the medial umbilical ligament, right. So this is about the peritoneal covering of the pelvic viscera. Now we will start with the sagittal section of the female pelvis. Likewise, as we have done in the male pelvis, from anterior to posterior orientation. See, anteriorly this is pubic symphysis, posteriorly this is again sacrum and coccyx, right. Now posteriorly, just in front of the sacrum and coccyx, as we have seen in the males, we see the rectum and anal canal over here, right? Now anteriorly again we see the bladder. Ureter is again seen passing, see here, ureter is again seen passing down the pelvic wall to reach the bladder. Now in contrast to the male urethra, female urethra is short and it opens directly into the perineum some distance behind the pubic symphysis. Now ductus deferens, seminal vesicle, prostate, they all are absent in females. In the interval between the bladder and rectum, here is the vagina. Inferiorly, vagina open into the perineum, and the region of the perineum where the vagina and female urethra opens is known as vestibule. The vagina passes upward and backwards into the vestibule, and at its upper end, vagina is continuous with the lower end of the uterus. The most important childbearing organ over here, this is uterus. Right? The wall of the uterus is thick and muscular, and it is having a narrow lumen. Right? Now the long axis of the uterus and vagina form an angle of 90 degrees with each other. Uterus lies above the urinary bladder. Right? The normal position of the uterus is anteverted and anteflexed. Right? This is the normal position of the uterus, anteverted and anteflexed. Attached to the lateral side of the uterus, we see the uterine tube. See, this hole is a broad ligament. This is a broad ligament, right? Now see, this is uterine tube or fallopian tube on the lateral side of the uterus. The lateral end of the tube ends in close relationship with the ovary. See here, over here, this is ovary. Now see, while the uterus, it is a median unpaired structure, there are right and left uterine tubes and right and left ovaries. The ovaries lie against the lateral wall of the true pelvis. Now this is all about the pelvic viscera and their arrangement, how they are arranged in the pelvis. Now coming again to the peritoneal covering. Now see the peritoneum, parietal peritoneum, from the posterior abdominal wall, it enters the pelvis, and from the pelvis it reflects to the onto the rectum, and from here rectum, then it dips downward and it again make a fold on the cervix and this posterior aspect of the uterus, and it is again going like this, forming a dip and a pouch. Again this is known as recto-uterine pouch between the rectum and uterus, also known as pouch of Douglas. Right? Now we'll trace it further. This peritoneum from the posterior aspect of the uterus covering over here, then it goes and covers the fundus and then the interior aspect of the uterus, and from here again it is coming to the reflecting onto the superior surface of the urinary bladder, and this is known as vesico-uterine pouch. Right? So there are two pouches in the females, recto-uterine pouch and vesico-uterine pouch. Right? And again from the superior surface of the bladder, this peritoneal covering, it goes and it reflects onto the anterior abdominal wall. Likewise we did in the male pelvis, and here it forms median umbilical ligament. Right? So this is about the peritoneal covering over here. Now see, in relation to this uterus, from the lateral border of the uterus over here, we have seen the peritoneal covering like this, and from the lateral border there is attachment of fallopian tube, and this peritoneum over here, it covers like this, forming the posterior layer of broad ligament, then winding around it, forming the anterior layer of the broad ligament. Right? So these are the anterior and posterior layers of the broad ligament. Right? In relation to the posterior layer of the broad ligament lies ovary with the mesovarium. Right? So this is about the peritoneal covering over here. Now last is the space of Rhegius. This space of Rhegius, it is a horseshoe shaped space surrounding the infralateral surface of the urinary bladder, and it is filled by loose areolar tissue, and it is basically present for the expansion of the urinary bladder. So this is all about the male and female pelvis sagittal section. Thank you.